Chris Sims came in when I was doing the display. I was showing this presentation. And you won the punt, pass, and kick competition one time in New Jersey.
Right.
And you didn't get a trophy.
No.
You got...
Very special Phil Sims autographed football. It was hilarious. I don't even think the people that were putting on the punt, pass, and kick competition realized what first place was. So then when they gave it to me, they kind of like opened up a package, started laughing, and I was like, "What are they laughing at?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, great. I'll put it on my, in my bedroom."
Yeah, got an autograph from your dad.
Yeah, it's pretty special.
All right, explain this. By the way, Chris Sims from NBC Sports. You can see him with Mike Florio Monday through Friday, Pro Football Talk. Your top 10 all-time list at the quarterbacking position.
Right.
So the rationale, for your top 10 list was
right. Well, I mean. Just how good of a quarterback are you? You know, that's the way I kind of look at it.
So it's not accomplishments.
It's not accomplishments to me. No, accomplishments, hey, that's not even close. We know Tom Brady's number one there. That's hands down. Yes, I got you. Now, just because his team and he was a part of so many great accomplishments, again, I just don't always say he's the greatest of all time. I don't. I'm not always going to go with accomplishments there because what are we going to start saying? Eli Manning is better than Brett Favre? Because he won an extra Super Bowl? I mean, no, that's not to be true. Or I always go back to my old saying, is Phil Sims better than Dan Marino because he's got it? Absolutely not. I'm not going to say that. So, the accomplishments, sometimes I think we take the team. We're in this era right now of quarterback on a pedestal, and he's the reason you win and lose. And, sometimes I just try to fight back against that narrative. And, I'm going off of what I think the best quarterbacks are.
So the most talented quarterbacks of all time, you got Aaron Rodgers, John Elway.
Yeah.
Then you put Brady in there.
Yeah. I think Brady's talent is underrated. Brady is special. I mean, his arm is special. You see now, he's still got a 100-mile-per-hour fastball. He can still throw it 65, 70 yards down the field. And then Brady's toughness and size and all that. Yeah, I think Brady is definitely one of the three best quarterbacks of all time. And I would say that if he only won 2 or 3 Super Bowls, I would be saying that. It has nothing to do to me with the Super Bowl.
Peyton Manning, not athletic, not a big arm.
No, not athletic, but again, size, more athletic, I think, than he gets credit for. An arm that's really good. And then, Peyton Manning, he kind of changed football with what he did too. So some of the coaching / quarterback that he was on the field, I kind of combine that together with that as well. And Peyton Manning, 4 Super Bowls with 4 different head coaches. The things he did, I think Peyton's, among the greatest.
Also, you're talking about talent, but, your mind.
Yeah.
That's something
something that goes into it, no doubt about it. None of these guys really are stupid. Some are maybe smarter than others, right?
Do you want to mention
Terry
names?
Bradshaw, right? Terry's my buddy. He knows I'm just joking.
But, I'm looking at Roger Staubach, how talented he was.
Yeah, right.
And Bradshaw, was a javelin thrower in college. He was a great athlete.
Yeah, never gets really mentioned when we talk about great quarterbacks of all time. Well, and again, because he was on a great team and he won 4 Super Bowls, and I think people kind of wipe it away. But, we won 2 NFL MVPs, won 2 Super Bowl MVPs, and, was a big-time player. Not always easy to play in that style of offense, too. Run the ball. Okay, now it's 3rd and down. Throw a bomb to Stallworth or Lynn Swann. That's not always easy. Sometimes it's easier to be dink and dunk and kind of be in a rhythm throwing the ball, too.
Joe Montana is behind Marino and Favre and Manning. And
I know,
That's the one you heard from a lot of people. That,
yes, I did.
And Drew Brees being 10th on your list,
right?
Because he had just set the record.
Right. It's recency bias too. I think people, we even did a poll on PFT this week where people said right now they would take Drew Brees over Tom Brady. And I want to be like, if this poll was taken 5 weeks ago or 6 weeks ago, I don't think that's the case. But because New England's struggling, 6 weeks ago, Drew Brees was 3-2 as the starter and Teddy Bridgewater was 5-0. So. Yeah. But, it is a little recency bias. Drew Brees is awesome. He's amazing. There's no doubt. Do I think he's a little overrated in the all-time lure of things? Yes. Do I think that John Elway or Dan Marino, if they were playing with Sean Payton in this era, would they put up stupid numbers? Of course they would. And then the other thing I look with Drew Brees, too, and again, if you're the top 10 of anything, I'm trying to say this so people will stop eviscerating me sometimes. You're top 10 of anything, you're really good, all right? But Drew Brees, you're not going to be top 5 to me when you have a stigma of you can't play in 3/4 of the stadium in the NFL. That to me just says it all almost right there. He has a stigma of not being able to play outdoors in cold weather. That's to me where I go Tom Brady stats compared to Drew Brees. They're not even comparable.
Yeah, but Peyton Manning benefited from this
Sure,
as well.
but he did go to Denver at the end and showed that that was capable too, where he threw 55 touchdown passes and played in Kansas City and other games too.
Yeah.
He didn't have the stigma of, oh gosh, he's going outside, the Colts are going to lose with Peyton Manning. He didn't have that. So I look at that. Of course, a perfect offense that's around him. You watch the game on Monday night. I mean, Michael Thomas, the best receiver in football. He's matched up against guys. We're going, how did he get him matched up against a linebacker, a safety, whatever it may be that way too. And then, Drew, won Super Bowl, no MVPs. I think that speaks to a lot of it too. A lot of it's yards and it's great and completion percentage. But yeah, I just don't think he's as talented as the guys I got in front of him.
The best quarterback in football right now is?
I'm going to give it to Lamar Jackson right now. I am. Yeah. Lamar's 1, and I'm going to say Patrick Mahomes is 2. Yeah.
But where's Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers is really probably 3 to me right now. 3 to 4, somewhere in there. I think 3, 4, and 5 right now, just where I look at it between Rodgers, Watson, and Russell Wilson. Very debatable there. I haven't thought about my recent top 5 a whole lot, but that was how I would juggle. I'm pretty confident in Lamar 1, Mahomes 2. And then 3, 4, 5, I'd have to sit down and tinker with it a little bit.
I would take Russell Wilson as
you
the
would
top
take him
quarterback.
one. Yeah, I get it. I'm not gonna. I get you.
There's nobody I'd rather have with the ball, with the game on the line.
I hear that.
I know people, they scream like, "Are you take him over Brady and Aaron Rodgers?" Yes, with the game on the line.
Sure.
I would.
He is. He's almost unstoppable in those moments. I mean, just like the 49ers game in overtime when he drove them down, he threw the interception.
Yeah.
We're so used to seeing him deliver. You're like, he threw an interception? Like, it was like shocking. But I'm with you. I really think most of the year it was him 1 and 2. I thought the last few weeks he hasn't played his best football, but I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
And again, talk about an offense that's not easy sometimes, Dan. They like to run the ball. Their schemes I look at, I don't go, whoa, they're reinventing the world here with their pass schemes. And when he drops back to pass, they drop back like looking to like 20-yard pass, 25-yard pass, 50-yard
He doesn't dink and dunk.
No, he does not dink and dunk.
We're talking to Chris Sims, Pro Football Talk live co-host and NBC Sports NFL analyst, of course, a former NFL quarterback. Yeah, and we were just talking about the biggest play in Super Bowl history.
Yeah,
was Malcolm Butler against Seattle, think that won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think so. I think about it. It's a really good one. That's up there.
Now, I just don't understand.
Peyton Manning throwing the pick 6. And then maybe Scott Norwood wide right.
I think the onside kick
was just as big. You're right.
I think that was bigger from the standpoint of momentum and the surprise element.
Right. Yeah.
Was pretty
that's a good one.
James Harrison's interception against Kurt Warner,
no doubt,
was an unbelievable. They knew what they were going to do. They knew the play.
Right.
And he went back in coverage.
Right.
And then to beat the clock and get into the end zone
is amazing because Arizona had total kind of momentum and control at that point.
And Tyrese, he didn't score a touchdown. It led to a touchdown.
Right.
It's an incredible play.
Yeah, I'm with you though. I think Malcolm Butler would probably be one. I honestly think that was the greatest Super Bowl I've ever watched, and to put that up there too.
And to watch and this Russell Wilson was the best player on the field.
Right.
Until that final pass.
Yep.
But I don't understand still to this day.
Yeah.
And it's sensitive if you bring it up to Pete or
sure.
Russ. And I understand that, but like from an NFL perspective.
Yeah.
When that play comes in,
right?
Because I thought if you throw a pass, I wanted the run pass option. That's all, run pass option.
Sure.
And if you don't have your receiver, I want him outside where he's the only one who can get.
Yeah, I hear you. I think the thing that drove me crazy about it is it was a go-to play for them all year long, and I want to just be like, when they lined up, you could ask my buddy Adam Lefkoe at Bleacher Report. I went, oh, they're going to try to throw the pick slant underneath here. We were watching the game together, and of course they did it. And if you think I knew it, I'm pretty sure Bill Belichick knew it, right? And then, the thing that also drives you crazy, the play before, what was it? Marshawn Lynch up the middle for 7 yards down to the 2 or 1 yard line.
Yeah.
And, and I also say this too, people blame Russell Wilson. That's not a Russell Wilson. That's like, that play is like you catch it and you throw it. You trust it. It's not a play where you have enough time to read. It's a bam, bam play.
But if Malcolm Butler, he joined us after the game, he said, Coach told me on Wednesday, when you see this, go right for the ball.
Right.
And so
Belichick, it's a bam bam play because so they taught him. He was ready for it. They were ready for it. God, and Bill saw the chaos over there, but that was a great Super Bowl. And I'm with you. I think that's probably is the greatest play in Super Bowl history.
Yeah, you
get one team that gets their fourth Super Bowl. Brady gets 4. They had lost 2 in a row. The Seahawks, we were all going, is that going to be a dynasty where they were up 20-10 at some point in the fourth quarter, right? Something like that. I mean, that was a lot of big plays and big-time players.
But you're looking at Pete Carroll then with 2 Super Bowls, Russell Wilson with 2 Super Bowls.
Right.
Like, you're viewed completely different.
Yes.
When you add the second one.
Yeah. You go in a different stratosphere.
Like if Brees had 2 Super Bowls.
Right.
I think on a lot of lists,
he'd probably
then he's in the top 5.
I get you. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think
Phillip
you're right.
Rivers had 1.
Right, he'd be a different player, no doubt. It's a shame that you're like
crazy.
that.
It's crazy that it comes. Like your dad, I always say, if your dad had another one, he's in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
Probably, if he doesn't get hurt for that second one where Hostetler plays and they beat the Bills and all that. Yeah, probably. You're right, but that's the way it is. It's the way it's determined. That's okay.
But he did have.
He had a good career.
Did anybody have a better? Who's had it? Steve Young had a better game than your dad.
Yeah, Steve had the 6 touchdown passes against the Chargers. Right.
But your dad had a near perfect game against Denver.
I think he still got the completion percentage record for a game.
Were you at the game?
I was there. Yeah, 6.5. I mean, I could still remember sitting there. I mean, it was pumped too. Disney World was at halftime. Mickey Mouse. I mean, come on. It was Phil Elway and Mickey Mouse. Couldn't go wrong.
Wait, you were 6 years old?
6.5. Yeah.
6.5.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Wait,
very aware.
At what point do you say you don't put the half on there?
Well, once
usually
you get
when
past,
you're like 2.5.
When you get
3,
past 10.
Like, how old are you now?
I'm 39.5.
Best game this weekend.
Ooh, best game this weekend. That's a good one.
I know there's a lot at stake with Dallas and Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Is that the best game this weekend?
I don't think it's the best game, no. I mean, because Philadelphia and best game don't go together right now with the way they play. Their defense not good. I mean, it's Carson Wentz just jamming in one more, 6 and 7 yard completions one at a time into tight coverage. So, I really think the best game of the weekend is... To me, it's either the Bills Patriots or Packers Vikings.
Okay.
Yeah, one of those two. I mean, Rams Niners is in that list too. I guess I'm most excited for Bills Patriots because I think the Bills, I'm not picking them to win, but I think one mistake by the Patriots. I mean, one interception or fumble or something like that, and they could be primed to lose a game like this.
Because Brady, even though he's not playing well this year, has not made mistakes.
Right. He's done great that way.
Josh Allen makes mistakes.
He will make mistakes.
But, there's a different Josh Allen now than during the, early part of the year.
100%.
Because they were winning in spite of him.
Right.
Now I think they're winning in part because of him.
No doubt. I agree. They took a little off his plate. Like when I went back and watched the first matchup between the Pats and the Bills this week, I like to go back and just go, kind of what happened. And to your point, they had Josh Allen in the shotgun a lot, and they were like, we're just going to let Josh throw the ball all over the place. And it was a disaster. He threw 3 horrible interceptions, and it really led to them losing the football game. They've kind of dialed back what they ask of him. They play a little more of a balanced game, running, throwing, take a shot here and there. You could see he's got tremendous talent, and he's matured. I think he's realized, okay, wait, our defense is really good. I don't need to go out and throw 50-yard bombs into triple coverage all the time. And, he has superstar potential. I think everybody's seen it a little with his arm and his athleticism and his size.
But if I
just raw,
we know Lamar Jackson now is of that draft class,
right? The cream of the crop.
Yeah, and you liked Lamar coming out.
I did.
You liked him.
I did. It's a bad rap.
Yeah,
I mean, he wanted to play quarterback, and he was a quarterback in college who looked to throw the ball, and then when it wasn't there, he ran.
But do you think because he was so good at running that that we or the scouts didn't think he was good enough as a pass? Like sometimes if you're really good at one thing, then we assume you're not really good at something else.
I think so. Along with the color of his skin, I'm sorry to say that, but he got pegged as he's a black running quarterback. That's what he does. And I just, I think there was more to it than that. And then, too, I think, as you watched him, was the throwing always like, oh, wow, that on point, perfect throw. No, you'd have some games where you'd go, this is amazing. And then the next game you'd go, man, he's like 2 for 5 on slant routes that are open today, So he had some mechanical flaws he needed to work out, which he has. And you've seen already, he's grown as a passer this season right in front of us.
Okay, but if we put Lamar in a separate category, and you can have all the other quarterbacks. So you're talking about Josh Allen being the potential to be a superstar.
Yeah. He'd be my two right now.
So you take him over Mayfield, Darnold?
Yeah, I would. And again, it's close because they're all talented, and I like all of them. I always say this, and I've said this a few times lately because this drives me crazy. See, this is where, to me, like bias comes in, the media, everything, people that follow the sport. If Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield were 10-4 right now and had just gone into Pittsburgh and done that, the world would be going, oh, are they the greatest thing since sliced bread? Look at the gold that the Browns struck with the first pick in the draft, or the Jets struck. But because it's Buffalo and Josh Allen, I don't know what it is, but it doesn't get the credit it deserves. But yeah, I would go him one.
Well, he went into
or two,
he went into
Lamar.
Pittsburgh. He went into Dallas.
Yes,
like those were impressive games
with not people around him where you're going like, oh, whoa, if you don't stop John Brown, you're in deep trouble.
But you can't be a better runner than a passer at that position.
No.
And he's still a better runner than a passer.
Yeah, it's yes.
It's
he's
closer.
You're right. It's closer.
It's closer.
He's still a backyard football kind of guy for sure.
The team that you can see slow down Lamar Jackson is who?
Well, again, you give Bill Belichick the second time. I'm always skeptical of that. I do think it's a really tough matchup for the Patriots this year. They lack big people for
that game will be in Baltimore.
It'll be in Baltimore, but I'm never going to doubt New England and Bill and Tom totally.
I wouldn't
there.
either.
But yeah,
I wouldn't either.
I would say the other team though is really an obvious one to me in the AFC. It's Kansas City. Kansas City is a tough matchup for Baltimore. There's a reason they beat them the last 2 years. Baltimore likes to get in your face, play bump and run man to man. They don't want to give you anything easy. That's like Patrick Mahomes, like, oh my gosh, they're going to play bump, run, man on Tyreek Hill. This is amazing. I'm going to get to throw 50-yard bombs all game. So that's where it's scary for them. Also,
and the Chiefs have been quietly getting better.
Getting better. And their defense is better.
Yes. And
their defense has size up front to where I don't think Baltimore can just steamroll them and control the line of scrimmage where, with the run game and everything like that.
Handicap, I don't know what to expect out of Dallas.
Yeah.
Now, I'm on record as loving Dallas, and they were going to be my Super Bowl pick if I didn't take Philadelphia.
Yeah, okay.
I really thought Dallas was going to be great this year.
I did too.
Okay. I don't know what to expect out of them. I know Dak and his shoulder and those kind of things, but you got Dallas Cowboys figured out?
No, absolutely not. But I mean, like to what your thought is and everything, like you're not wrong. Dallas is clearly, as we saw again last week, this is the crazy thing about Dallas. It's the top offense in the league, a top 7 defense, and yet they're like the 13th best record. That doesn't make sense. That tells you something about their management of the game or the style they're playing is not working. Something's not correlating there. But as far as the team itself, they're as talented as any team in football. I mean, go through the positions, right? I mean, Dak Prescott, he's arguably a top 5, top 8 quarterback. Offensive line, top 3 in football. Running back, definitely top 5. Defensive line, top 5. Linebacker duo, top 5. Corner duo, top 5. Safety is probably the only position you can go to and go, they're not top 5 in that. So, no, I don't have them figured out, but they're one of those teams I would just say watch out for. Like, if they get hot, they can play with anybody in the league.
If you're Urban Meyer and Jerry Jones offers you that job, would you take it?
I would. Yeah, I would. It's the Dallas Cowboys, and they're set up right now for a run. They really are. They got some young stars. The offensive line signed up for a while.
But if Washington or Cleveland calls, is there a better job than Dallas if Dallas comes open?
I don't think there is. Okay. I think Dallas is really special. The big thing you got to deal with Dallas is just the Jones family, and who, listen, I got a lot of respect for. It's a lot.
Because I said that if I was Lincoln Riley, I would stay at Oklahoma and not take the Cowboys job.
I would too. I don't think that's the right fit. Like, again, and not to say Lincoln Riley can't do it, but I feel like this team is ready now. You don't want to have a coach that's like, oh, let me get used to the NFL and the way the NFL is. That to me, he's more made for like what Cliff Kingsbury did in Arizona. Okay, we want to build something. Lincoln Riley, we want to bring you there with a young quarterback and groom it and make everything about that. That would be more the Lincoln Riley approach for me.
Like Cleveland.
Like Cleveland could work that way, yes.
He's Chris Sims, Pro Football Talk Live co-host, NBC Sports NFL analyst. Great to see you.
You the man.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.